What's going on, guys? Patrick here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be looking at the major dump that just came in with the Bitcoin price. We're going to be looking at if we're going to bounce back and finally break that $12,100 mark, or if we're going to break down and potentially test as low as $9,600. So if you're interested in that, make sure you guys stay tuned all the way until the end. But before we jump into that, I do want to update you guys on some of the opportunities that I've been able to capitalize on. You guys know I entered a short here. When everybody was going long in this position, myself and my team were entering short. So we entered a short here and secured 2 profits. We entered a short here and we secured 3 profits. We entered a short here again, and then we were able to secure profits along this ride as well. From there, obviously minor opportunities that came in here and there. But the most important thing as well to note is that altcoins have been absolutely booming. So one altcoin we were in, CRV BTC. Now again, this is one of multiple altcoins we've been in. We got in on, if I go to the 1 hour chart right here, 1 p.m. my time on the 31st of August, 2020. You guys can see down here exactly the date, right? Exactly the date down here. And you'll notice very shortly after, this crypto absolutely exploded. Now, we had a bullish flip of the EMA ribbon here. It started to consolidate and looked like it was looking for a break up or down, and since it was a bullish cross on the EMA ribbon, we could expect then that the move was likely going to be a little more bullish. But if you move to the 4 hour chart, you get a different picture again that really does help out. This one, you'll notice we retested multiple times this resistance at this point, multiple wicks, and if you test something enough times, eventually you're going to have that breakout. So understanding those things, understanding what to look out for, really shaped us up for a great trade here and a fast trade, because very shortly after, you guys see the next few candles on the 4 hour time frame, it hit all of our targets and we were able to close the trade. It was as easy as that. So if you feel like you're missing out on the opportunities, you feel like you want to take advantage of everything that the crypto market has to offer, then make sure you guys check out the first link in the description for the Cryptocurrency Trade Alert group. I post every single one of the trades that myself and my expert team are entering in real time in this group. So if you're a complete beginner, if you don't know how to do technical analysis, or if you don't have time to do technical analysis, you can copy our exact trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, and after that, profits are taken automatically for you. So it can become very, very passive. You'll get access to every one of our altcoin trades, every single one of our leverage trades, as well as the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space. But most importantly, you're going to get all of this for a free trial in the first 2 weeks. So the first 14 days after you sign up, you'll see every one of our trades. We're not going to hide anything from you. Every single one of the trades that we have, you're going to see all of them for free for the first 2 weeks after you sign up. And if for whatever reason you don't like it, no questions asked. All you have to do is cancel and you'll avoid getting charged. We've broken down all the risks, we've broken down all the barriers, and we want to help as much of you guys out as possible. And a ton of you guys were in these trades that I talked about previously. Congratulations to you. If you weren't in them or if you haven't joined yet, I look forward to seeing you guys in there because there are a ton of opportunities left for us to catch. But let's analyze the Bitcoin price and what exactly we just saw going on. Because a lot of people are a little confused, and for the most part, I really am not that surprised that this happened. I wasn't really expecting that breakout to come in right now. A lot of people are getting overly bullish, but it's important to not let your emotions get the better of you. And the reason I say that is because bullish or bearish, if you know what you're doing and you're entering the right positions, for example, Bybit, there's a link down below to get some free money, but that's not the point of this. The point is Bybit, if you can long and short Bitcoin, right? So if you are able to do that, it matters a lot less in the short term if Bitcoin's going up or if Bitcoin's going down. You just want it to move, right? You just don't want it to trade sideways. You want it to move in any direction as long as you're in the right position, because you're going to make money no matter what direction it goes into. As long as long-term Bitcoin goes up, then you win on both the short-term trades and you win on the value of Bitcoin going up long-term. So keep that in mind. Moves like this, I mean, they're fantastic opportunities for anybody who was able to capitalize on them. Unfortunately, we were not in a trade during this time. We were kind of eyeing to see what the market did, but if you were, obviously I was also asleep at some of this point when we had the breakout. We can't catch everything. However, if you were awake, if you were on the time zone and you watched some of my previous videos that analyze what we were watching out for, you could have made an absolute killing on this trade. Even if you didn't get up over here, right at the top, you could have simply waited for the breakout, the break below the EMA ribbon. You saw the flip come in at this point. Then you can decide to enter when it looks like it's retesting over here, and you would have entered around this point where you saw the flip come in and we saw the break below, and even just there you would be at roughly 4%, 4.25% move at a 10x leverage. That's a 42% trade. It's really, there's not so much I can say. The basics of trading, if you keep things simple, this is my opinion, other people differ. If you keep things simple, it just works, right? It works for me, and so that's really all I can speak on. It just works. So Bitcoin was trading upwards, obviously above the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour time frame, multiple tests of supports. Each one of these resulted in a nice little bump you could have capitalized on. Again, I only tell you this so that you guys can watch out for this in the future. It's not to brag, it's not to make you feel bad, it's just so you can watch out and capitalize on these moves in the future, because they do happen over and over and over again, and it really just provides a ton of opportunity for you. So like I said, tested a bunch of supports. I talked about in the previous video how we're inching closer and closer with the EMA ribbon coming up, and our major resistance here at the $12,100 mark. We're looking like it's going to pinch together, and we're going to have to either break above or break below. Now, if we zoom out, you can see we tested this resistance multiple times before. There's one that's not loading over here, but we tested it previously as well, multiple times, and we have not had that break above. And that's why a lot of people are sort of itching, like I mentioned before with the altcoins. And this is where sort of experience and your gut call comes into importance, is that eventually, if you test it enough, you're likely to break that resistance. Now, this is a major resistance. We had a fake breakout come in before. And once we do have that confirmed breakout, it's going to be extremely bullish for the Bitcoin price, right? Like we're talking $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 made a lot easier after we break that $12,100 mark, but we need to actually break it. Otherwise, I talked about, looking at the break below the EMA ribbon, which would put us in a short-term bearish trend, and that's exactly what happened, and you could have capitalized on that. But we see this W pattern came in, right? This was the initiation of this move to the upside, right? W pattern came in. Some people are talking about a head and shoulders. I'm looking at this right here. Obviously, I can only share with you guys what I'm looking at. W came in, and we can actually see a small M pattern form here as well, which is the opposite, obviously, of the W pattern. This one came in when we tested the resistance the first time. Then we tested a second time. And then once we noticed this getting rejected, if you were able to catch this M pattern, you could have also started to kind of get that feeling of, hey, we might start coming down. Let's see what the rest of the indicators show us. And then that's when you could have seen the break below the EMA ribbon, got that confirmation, and really entered into that position. So for future trades, just a few things for you guys to watch out for. Obviously, not everyone's going to catch this trade. If you did, let me know down below. If you didn't, this market, I say this every other week or something, because this market really is just, it's going to give you these opportunities again. Maybe not as big as often, but it's going to give you these opportunities often enough for you to consider taking them. Now, 4 hour time frame, very similar. Again, we had that bullish flip come in over here. From that though, we had a few tests of the supports over here, and then this huge breakdown that came as well. So I'm waiting to see 4 hour looking a little more volatile and looking a little more uncertain. The 1 hour, we might start seeing those rejections to the downside and see it follow that EMA ribbon this way. The 4 hour hasn't flipped bearish yet because of how fast this move happened. So this one is a little more volatile, one that I'm keeping an eye out on to get that confirmation of the actual trend on the 4 hour time frame. But the 1 day time frame, this one gets a little more interesting as well, because the 1 day time frame, you'll notice right here another retest of the support that we've tested multiple times before. You can actually see a support that, the EMA ribbon acting as support multiple times, but even a horizontal support roughly around here, a range around here, you can tell that we've caught multiple times previously, right about where we are right now. So just like how we had the 1 hour time frame coming in closer to the with the EMA ribbon coming in closer to the $12,100 mark, now we're having the same thing happen on a bigger time frame. That's the 1 day time frame where we have the EMA ribbon coming up, we have the obviously $12,100 support. It's going to come down to a pinch between if we break below the daily the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame, or if we finally break above that $12,100 mark. I'm not going to give you guys which one's going to happen, because nobody knows which one's going to happen. That's the truth with everybody watching, with everybody making videos. Nobody knows for sure which one is going to happen. Everybody's making a guess, or an educated guess, or a prediction based off their analysis, but nobody knows for sure. And just like I showed you guys on the 1 hour time frame, a lot of the times I prefer testing confirmations. I prefer trading confirmations versus trading just what I think is going to happen at a given time. So to me, very simple again. The 1 hour time frame, is going to be a lot of different opportunities there. But the daily time frame, we're looking big thing is if we break below the EMA ribbon here, or we break above the $12,100 mark here. That's going to determine bullish or bearish. And the weekly time frame, which I showed you guys last time, where we have the EMA ribbon really far down, and it shows us we really could come all the way down here to test the weekly time frame EMA ribbon. And that would fill that $9,600 CME futures gap. But if you just look at this, I mean, sure, a big few candles came in, but on the weekly time frame, it just doesn't look that bad, right? It's a small movement on the weekly time frame. Obviously, the week is still not over. There's a lot more that can happen. But even just you see the candle before that had a huge wick down and then ended up in the green, we might see something similar to that as well. So a lot of uncertainty going on. Some on the bigger time frames. The small time frames are the ones now that are easy to capitalize on, because the 1 hour time frame, we saw the move already happen, right? We saw that break down below the EMA ribbon. So now it's time for us to start analyzing and trading that way on the 1 hour while we wait for the daily, the 4 hourly to give us a little more confirmation. So obviously that's what I'm looking at in terms of the Bitcoin price. Altcoins have been performing very well, like I mentioned before. Obviously with Bitcoin's recent dump, altcoins aren't performing great, with the exception of Tron, which is up just under 15%. But altcoins are not going to perform great at a time where Bitcoin's dropping $1,000 in the span of a couple of hours. We can expect that to happen. But before that happened, there was a lot of bullish stuff going on in altcoins. A lot of altcoins were doing very well. You can see the trends in the last week of altcoins trending to the upside, with the exception, again, of this move that pretty much wiped out everything that we saw happen, right? So altcoins, definitely worth keeping an eye out on. 100% worth keeping an eye out on. There's a ton of opportunities there as well. But in terms of news, really quick, wrapping it up, police reportedly raided the headquarters of Bithumb, which is South Korea's largest crypto exchange. Not one that I use, but again, it's the largest one in South Korea. So if you're in that area, if that's one that you use, obviously something you want to watch out for. This happened to a couple of projects and exchanges here and there. We don't have too much information. Obviously, more of that is probably going to come out in a bit. But last but not least, and I know some of you guys are using this, I'm sure of it, because I know a lot of people go on this website. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube and not get demonetized, but Blank is now accepting Bitcoin and Litecoin. So if you didn't want to use one of the other cryptocurrencies they had available, now you can use Bitcoin or Litecoin. Majority of you guys, I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of curious. I don't want to know what you do in your free time, but at the same time, I'm curious to know how many people actually use crypto on their website. So who knows? Maybe they'll release some information on this at some point, just for data's sake, right? It's kind of interesting, and I would love to know how much crypto is used on something like this. Maybe to hide it from the wives, right? If they have wives, don't want to put in the credit card information because otherwise the wives could see it. You pay in crypto, they can't see it anymore, right? I'm not sure. I mean, that's probably what the majority of people are using this for. Either way, yeah, I mean, here's the news. There's not as much going on in terms of news. There's a lot more focus on the technical analysis right now, because people are just anxious for that bull market to start, and people want to make money in crypto, and that's why people are looking at the analysis for making trades, as well as for figuring out when's Bitcoin going to test that $20,000 mark again. But guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys want to see or more of in the future, and what you guys think is going to happen with the Bitcoin price. I'm always curious to know what you guys think, to get a consensus on what my channel viewers think is going to happen. See if we're right, see if we're wrong, and all that fun stuff in between. Also, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can stay updated every time we upload a new video, which basically just means you're going to stay updated with what the Bitcoin price is up to and what we expect to happen, so you can capitalize and put yourself in the best position to make money and catch the opportunities in this market. But that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys on Friday for another video.